What ruins a movie instantly?
Background actors in fight war scenes waiting for their turn to attack the main character.
JCVD did a pilot for an Amazon original show that talked about this. He's playing a version of himself in it, but he is also a super spy that uses his acting gig as a reason to be in the places he needs to do spy stuff in. Weak, I know, but read on. He arrives on a movie set where the director tells him this movie isn't going to be like the old school ones he is used to, where all the bad guys wait their turn to get beat up by him. Later on, when he's doing spy stuff, a bunch of real guards catch him and they all rush in. Wait. One guard says, stopping the others. If we all attack him at once, we'll bump into each other and stuff and it will get really hectic. We should go in one at a time. And #X200B. All the guards agree, and JCVD smiles knowingly, thinking the fight just got a lot easier. The first guard rolls up and utterly annihilates him, just full-on beats his ass. It was hilarious.
Main characters being invincible while everyone else dies from one punch. I get that the main characters have to survive or they wouldn't be main characters, but at least make the damage somewhat realistic.
Pooty fight scenes where I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
Gotta do it like Kingsman, where the guy kills 51 people in 3 minutes or so in a cramped and chaotic building, yet you can constantly tell what's going on because of the superb camera work.
When it's so dark you actually can't see what is happening. Also characters that mumble their lines. Drives me nuts.
Especially when it's only dark to illustrate that the story is dark. Cheap as F.
When the characters have that misunderstanding and break apart trope. Then the come back together to resolve conflict. I'm so sick of it, especially when the misunderstanding could easily be avoided in the moment if they just saw the simple solution staring at them in the face.
When the trailer reveals the entire story.
Breaking the rules they set.
The rules of your universe can be as batpoo as you like, but once established they should be followed. If an established rule is broken, characters should at least notice that poo isn't right.
Forced romance. Sometimes movies don't need it and that's okay.
Also forced teen angst. I hate movies and TV shows where the world is ending and everyone's fighting for their lives, but the teen characters are still angry at their parents just for existing.
When they whisper a super important point of the story, and you miss it and feel confused for the rest of the movie.
You mean when the dialogue is 6 decibels so you turn it up and then the next random explosion at 387 decibels wakes up your neighbors and makes your ears bleed?
Whispered dialogue. Ear-shattering action sequences.
Living in an apartment and actually care to not piss off my neighbors. The volume spikes and drops kill me.
Makes a good movie nearly unwatchable.
When people figure out someone's password in literally no time.
When they look at various things around the desk and that clues them into the password.
That all the major issues could be solved by a simple conversation, but instead, no, I don't have time to explain, leading to forced conflict from misunderstanding.
Let me explain. Pause *, no, is too much. Let me sum up.
In superhero movies, when the balance of someone's abilities constantly changes. Especially in fight scenes when a character could end the fight in 2 seconds, but that doesn't allow for an epic battle scene, so instead that character just randomly decided to avoid using their most valuable abilities. This completely takes me out of the moment.
The Flash series lost me because of this issue. Literally every fight with a non-speedster would be over in 0.2 seconds. When there's a scene that's just advertising a brand.
We've got to save the city from the monsters coming out of Pizza Hut, the place where no one out-pizzas the hut.
Characters that are brought back alive just to keep the show moving.
Supernatural would like a word.
Showing and then telling anyway, treating the audience like idiots.
Or when the big reveal happens, and then they have to give you flashbacks to the other moments in this short movie that foreshadowed the reveal.
When you know an actor was chosen for the role for their fame and not for the casting. Edit, fixed a word. But holy moly, it seems like lots of people also hate this. Hear that, movie studios? We hate this.
This is killing the careers of genuine voice actors. I don't want to spend the entire animated movie trying to figure out which characters Dwayne Johnson, Chris Pratt, Rihanna and Ryan Reynolds are voicing. Just give me genuine, good voice actors who aren't just using their everyday effing voice. Edit. Seems a lot of people agree, although perhaps unfair for me to include Pratt and DJ since they're not half bad. Even though they already get more than enough work elsewhere. We'll just replace them with James Corden, who first think we can look agree is an insufferable turd.
When the heroes survive an overblown car crash that would have crippled or killed most people, only to walk away with a scratch. It's not very realistic, even for an action movie.
I particularly like Jason Bourne falling down an elevator shaft and walking away because it's okay. He landed on top of the bad guy.
Scene. Just let me explain. No. Storms out. Reality. Just let me explain. Okay, so why did you text your ex? It's a birthday surprise. He owns an engraving company now. I got you something I needed engraved. Oh, cool. Edit. I have turned movies off that have totally hinged on this plot. I understand you can be already angry and not wanting to listen to what they have to say, but actual stable adults in trusting relationships do not do this. Find another plot device, writers. This one is dead. Edit 2. For those saying, pick another engraving company then. Maybe she knew his talents and chose him specifically because she knew he was really good at his hobby now career. Besides, people can split amicably.
Seriously. One person storms out and the other person just stands there doing absolutely nothing.
Characters acting out of character, being morons just to make the plot work. Immediately makes me see them as puppets for storytelling rather than people, and I stop caring about them.
Whenever I say, why would they do that? At a movie, my husband says, because it's in the script. And it brings me back down, lol.
Poorly fleshed out character motivation and intelligence, like an astrobiologist illogically taking off their protective gear on an alien planet. A real astrobiologist wouldn't do the one thing you're absolutely not supposed to do, asterisk, and now they're infected, and it was just a lazy way for the screenwriter to get from point A to point B. Poor communication between characters, when setting up or resolving conflict, depends on characters illogically choosing to withhold information from each other, because there's no time, or, I'll explain when we get there. More lazy writing. The older I get, the more it takes me right out of the story when lazy writing shows through.
Prometheus or Alien Covenant? Alien Covenant was even more dumb because they didn't even bother with helmets. I guess their ship scanned the entire atmosphere. Or something.
I will say when they have a whole well-designed spacesuit or futuristic outfit or something that has a helmet to it or face cover that would normally always stay on or be on 80% of the time, but they just decide to never wear it or are constantly taking it off to remind us of the famous actor who is playing that person. I've also seen a few movies where a character will have a whole really cool-looking spacesuit or battle attire, only to ditch the whole thing at the beginning and go the rest of the movie looking like the most generic person ever.
When you can't hear what they are saying, so FFS can't follow the plot, and the next minute your ears are bleeding from gun noises, fighting, yelling, or anything loud. WTF do they do that for?
A forced romance between two characters which doesn't add anything to the overall plot. Annoying as poo.
How did they fall in love? By being the male and female protagonists.
When the story includes, the magic was inside you all along, cliché.
Cringy dialogue, takes me right out the scene, in fact I want to leave the scene.
When serious injuries, gunshots, stabbing, hit by car, only affects the protagonists for a second, then they're right back into action like nothing happened, but if you sneeze on a henchman he's dead instantly. Edit. The comments most mentioned offenders. Black Widow. Starship Troopers. Yes, it's satire, I get it. The public has mentioned it continuously, that's why it's here. Netflix The Punisher. John Wick 3. Game of Thrones Arya stabbing. Prometheus C-section.
For real, good guy takes 2 rounds to the torso and 1 to the liver, and still defeats bad guy in a 10-minute hand-to-hand battle. Minor henchman gets kicked in the chest and he's out for the duration.
When they use CGI to make an almost 80-year-old man look like a 40-year-old, but he still moves like an 80-year-old when trying to kick a poor shopkeeper's ass.
Heavy makeup and perfect hair. How am I supposed to enjoy a post-apocalyptic movie when the lead actress looks like a beauty pageant contestant? Drives me insane.
Unless she's a scientist, then you get a beauty pageant winner in glasses.
Can't say much for other people, but shaky cam. The later Jason Bourne movies for me were completely unwatchable because I couldn't tell what the F was happening. Another personal thing that takes the wind out of some movies for me is when they crowbar in the title of the movie towards the end. Edit. I just remembered, as a horror fan, poorly explained monsters that have no rules. I am specifically talking about Bird Box, where the monsters can seemingly do anything and everything.
A bad accent.
When they give out the whole plot in a trailer.
Don't watch the trailer for Ambulance, Link.
The simple stuff that would never really happen. It doesn't ruin the entire movie, but the scenes where one spouse will wake the other by hitting them in the face with a pillow. Then the one that got woken up says okay I'm up, then chuckles and everybody's happy. BS. Nobody does that. Wake anybody 30 or older up that way, and you may end up a murder victim. Or the action movies, where a cop saves the country from bad guys and doesn't write a single damn report. Shoots 87 bad guys, and back to work the next day. Good work, Johnson. You're a hero. And at the police department, there's a dumb-ass fruit basket on his desk.
Hot Fuzz was great for the ending scene of everyone doing mountains of paperwork.
Firing more ammo than the gun actually holds without reloading. Car keys in sun visors. Hacking a protected computer system in seconds.
Black background with green letters and numbers, and then a loading bar pops up that loads to 100%. Okay, I'm in, guys.
When the villain is just bad for no reason whatsoever. Scratching the DVD.
Or when someone records pee over your Land Before Time cassette.
When the trailer explains the whole effing story. Hootie Theaters making their own spoiler-heavy banners with Photoshop. When someone tells you spoilers F you Ethan. Cringe script. And over-the-top sex scenes. I like to keep my pee and entertainment separate.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.